Alright. Sorry, it's hella hot in here. I had to take a sippy sip of the good old water. Alrighty. Happy Friday. Um, first, yeah, sorry, pardon like the 5 billion. Happy Friday, everybody. How are we doing? Just gonna set up some couple of last things here, quick. Get things set up. Oh, Stubby Basis, my friend. How are you doing? In Gucci? Why does this thing? Why does Streamlabs? Who? Oh, Lane, thank you very much. Thank you for the happy Friday wishes. Hopefully, it is also the same for you. I know that at least for a couple of other people that I kind of follow in on Twitch, today has been a very good Friday indeed. There's also been some really wild news about like, oh hey, the Suikoden, some of the Suikoden creators that were from Konami have branch out. They're going to be crowdfunding their own game either pretty soon or something. It's going to be pretty wild. I've been staring at feet and ankles all day, trying to make my hand recreate the shape properly. Yeah, um, hands are hard to draw. So are feet. Like even with Clip Studio Paint, I only kind of sort of managed to, pardon me, circle around the issue. Mostly because Clip Studio Paint, I can use um, I can use 3D models, and that kind of makes it a little easier, but only so much. Most of the time, like the struggle is real, and I have like a lot of trouble handling a particular thing. It can be rough, but no, I feel that. I say semi jokingly most of the time that a lot of my that while I like to draw, I don't have like that commitment to putting in the real energy. Well, just had to reset chapter 10 of Fire Emblem 6 on stream, but I absolutely smashed out chapter 9 before that. Mood though. Fire Emblem 6. Sometimes my numbers get mixed up. That's Blazing Sword, right? The one that came out on Game Boy Advance is just Fire Emblem in the United States, I think it was. I think that's 6. My numbering for the Fire Emblem games is unfortunately not as good as I would like it to be. That is a 5. That is FE, right? Yes. Sometimes my eyes. I should probably just make my stream window bigger. In Binding Blade. No. Oh yeah. Ooh, Binding Blade is that one. The one. Oh yeah, Binding Blade. Ooh. I respect it though. I respect that hustle. Yeah, I've heard stories about Binding Blade and how difficult it is. So like, I respect that. I respect that. Hey, anything you can walk away from, right, or something like that. No, that's car crashes. Anyway, um, but no, it's a good challenge. Yeah, yeah, and well, for my end, this week has been pretty chill. Work is work. Um, I like my job, but it's exhausting sometimes. I got a very pleasant surprise insofar as what I'm going to show off for Alia today. It's not like a lot, but it's not like a whole lot, but it is one of those things that's like, ooh, yeah, now this kind of like makes things feel a little more real. Um, we're coming along, you know, COVID being COVID, it's a little difficult to sort of handle certain things. Um, Team members kind of have their own things to deal with, and I do my best kind of not to push, but we're making our way through slowly and steadily. a lot of my programming time for the most part is eaten up by what would be my programming time is eaten up by day job stuff. So I'm slowly kind of acclimating myself back into like, okay, work a little bit on this here, do a little bit of this here. So still trying to work it out. But enough of me kind of jabbering on about that. Let's talk about Mage Princess Alia, because that's what y'all are here for, aside from the Star Ocean. So, for those of you, and it's been a little while since I've shown it on stream, so I'm going to take my time and walk through the first 2 levels, show off a couple of the 1 or 2 new things along the way. It's been a little while since I showed it off, mostly because of what I said before. I decided to wait until I started hitting like substantial milestones. So initially the plan was to show off things for Mage Princess Alia like every... I'm just going to mute the audio. Or maybe just turn down the... No, this volume's good enough. So, the main thing is that, well, first of all, the first thing I wanted to show y'all is that we now have actual firing sprite. It's still in the rough stages, but we still have but now we have a firing sprite for the Magic Soldier character. Right now, we still have the roughs, and we're not doing any of the animations yet, because that takes a little bit of time. But we have the roughs in for the Magic Soldiers attack enemy. That's one of the new things I wanted to kind of show off. But with Mage Princess Alia, let me rewind a little bit. I forgot I put that enemy there. So the general idea with Mage Princess Alia is that it's kind of like a twin stick shooter. When you're using a controller, then you can use the left arrow. You can use the left analog stick to move, and then the right analog stick to aim, and then to fire with the right bumper. Control remapping is supported, but after seeing like a couple of half-coordinated streams, kind of watching how he handles a controller with his particular physical disability, I've been thinking about other options that I can use for setting up certain kinds of control bindings and what to bind and what other things to enable to make it a little easier. So I'm in the process of sort of working those out. But yeah, so the walking animation stuff for Alia, our main character, has been in for a while. But in addition to being able to shoot and charge up your shots by holding down the right bumper, you can use the left bumper to reflect any projectiles that kind of come your way. Did I code this from the ground up? Yeah, so usually for more complex games like this one, I use Unity as my platform of choice. So a lot of it is, with the exception of some of like the controller input stuff, some of the controller input stuff and a lot of the fancier effects are usually from free Unity plugins, but a lot of the more fundamental system things, like getting the glyphs to display correctly, the movement code, the programming for character animations, the programming for like aiming things, a lot of that is me. So I'd say like it's a good 70-30. Even with like plugins for things like controller support, because Unity's native controller support is not super great. Yeah. So I'm impressed by people hacking / coding existing games, so this is another level. Yeah. By profession, I am a game designer and game developer. So part of my day job is mostly teaching that skill set to high school students, but then sort of aside from that, I realize why this doesn't look right. I forgot to adjust. Hold on a second. I messed up this transform on this thing. Set it a little bit, and then I'm good. Yeah, I know it got gigantic. 1 second, I just want. The main thing is that I realized that I stretched this terribly when I did it before. And so it was actually looking really, really terrible. So this is better. It was really stretched out and I didn't have the aspect ratio correct. So this is better. Anyway, yeah, so as far as this game went, mostly what I'm responsible for A lot of the underlying programming stuff, I used a free program to generate a lot of the sound effects. I did not do the character sprites or the tile set. The character sprite and the tile set, I'm collaborating with two separate artists on. One is doing a lot of the concept art for the characters and also provided the tile set, while the other one is working on all the character sprites and taking the concept artist's art and translating it into the sprites that you're seeing. So yeah, as far as my part in it goes, all the programming, all the sound design, the music is all filler. And I'm working on getting a musician for that, but it's a little tricky. So another new thing, for those that have been watching the stream for a while, this boss that I'm fighting right now used to be some form of polygon. I don't remember which one. My brain is kind of having a fart right now. But now we actually have a character sprite for her. So this is Captain Isma, who is the first boss of the game. She fires projectiles that, unlike mine, which just do damage, hers actually push on contact. And so if I'm pushed into a wall by any of her projectiles, I'll take damage. Or if she pushes any of these debris objects into me, I also take damage. But when I use my reflection, I can also reflect her shots. So she's not meant to be like super challenging as far as the first boss goes. If you're really careful about like reflecting shots and all that, you can beat her relatively easily. Stuff I use a lot. Damn, that's something I've recently. I've been a musician and composer since childhood, though. Yeah, I used to be a band nerd, like way back in middle school. So as it is now, I can kind of write music, by which I mean I still have the ability to read most sheet music, but not anything more complicated than with more complex sheet music. It's like, okay, wait, what? Oh my god. Like, just for practice, I got a hold of some of the piano music sheets for Parasite Eve and just started kind of playing around with trying to read that music and reproduce some of what I was reading, with a couple of liberties back to the original song. I can kind of do it, but it's definitely not something I'm like super good at. But so for the most part, I'm still right now we're kind of just training mostly on like assets and stuff. And at some point, the musician will kind of have to figure into that. Kind of budget for that also, but kind of figure that out at some point. So, insofar as this is concerned. Oh, hey, Jen, what's up? Yeah, piano reading is hard though. Reading to stage at the same time is a whole new thing. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I manage. Beeper's very nice. Yeah. Hey Jen, how are you doing? Hopefully the day is treating you good. Just toasty. I don't like that. Well, I don't mind it that much, but it's hot. Ugh. But to sort of explain, I guess, a little bit more about the actual game itself, because we totally, not that I don't like the music tangent, but we also totally went off on a music tangent. With this game in particular, the main storyline is basically that the main character, Alia, who we see on the screen over here, is basically a princess who was exiled from her home country about 10 years before the start of the game. Her dad is kind of a jerk. And so he got deposed by one of her cousins. But it just turns out that the cousin also a jerk, except that he's better at hiding it. So he's planning some nasty stuff, and Alia's like, all right, I'm going to go and take back what's mine. So I don't know if I would call Alia a nice person, or necessarily a good person in as much as the person that wants a thing. Oh, let me read chat real quick. I'm doing good. Finally done with coding for the week. Mood. So, that's kind of Alia's deal, right? Like, the main purpose of the game, and it's relatively short in terms of how many levels I have planned out, but the main purpose of the game, the main thrust of the game is you're Alia, you want your kingdom back, so you're gonna go get it back. That's kind of how it works. So, in a general sense, now in level 2, if you notice in our top right corner, instead of that empty space, we now have these 2 weird icons. Basically speaking, when you defeat certain bosses in this game, you actually gain the magic ability that they had, and they used on you. So in this case, we gained Isma's pulse shots. So with this enemy type, they kind of jump and they rush at you. Then I can sort of eat them into a wall, and it doesn't really matter. You will notice now that at this point, though, enemies can also charge their shots. So they become slightly more dangerous. Yeah, a little bit like Mega Man, yeah. Like, if anybody is like a serious lore nerd and they want to know, well, why can she do that? The short answer is, blah blah magical prodigy, blah blah blah. Oh, I saw you using your power. Now I know how to do it because I watched you do it, and I grasp it by virtue of looking at it. You know, the usual. So, one mechanic that I was sort of talking about earlier, but then sort of glossed over, is the reflect. So, you saw me use it a couple times probably, but the main thing with it is that when you use the reflect, it will eat up all your magic and all your remaining magic in order to fire it. But for every projectile that it deflects, you gain back some, and the cooldown on it kind of reduces. So it can be very rewarding if you know how to, or if you can manage to sync up the enemy's timers for certain things in order to deliberately manipulate them into attacking you all at the same time. But the nice thing about pulse shots, let me see if I can line one up here, is that you can actually use enemies as an enemy that you hit with a pulse shot, you can then sort of use like an extended bullet. So this jumping enemy, I actually went and shot them into the magic enemy that was chasing me. And then the jumping enemy still takes damage when they hit like a wall or some other solid thing. So you can sort of use it to sort of like clear out and do like a lot of wrecking ball related things. And so the main thing is not necessarily to be like, well, oh, in order to beat this boss, you have to be able to use this thing. If you want to just play the game using nothing but the default shot, you can. But you may find that there are certain circumstances where just being able to kind of push other enemies around is a good way of kind of like dissuading them from certain things. So a lot of and I've talked about this in previous streams, but a lot of like the design influence for this game comes from sort of two games. One of them is something called Merlin's Revenge. It's this old Flash game that I think only people that are my age maybe remember it, and that's if they ever played it. And with Merlin's Revenge, the whole idea is that you would walk around a wide open area, or like a wide open map, and kind of pick up new abilities that way. Learn new spells that way, so on and so forth. So it was more like playing Zelda, except you're a wizard. And then another game that was the actual basis for this was a game called Ninja Princess. And in that game, you play literally as a ninja who is a princess, and you're going to reclaim, and she's going to like reclaim her kingdom, right? So in its own way, this is kind of a nod to that game plot-wise, but it's a little bit more, I'm focusing kind of a little bit more not only on the story, but also on kind of like making the gameplay sort of feel a little more, because that was an arcade game, and it's not that the gameplay was bad, it's just that it kind of had its own focus on a couple other things. And sort of by the nature of what kinds of games I enjoy, it usually winds up that I make games that are very reflex based. And so what I wanted to do was take a lot of the things that I like about both Merlin's Revenge and Ninja Princess, but then also give the player more mechanics that let them kind of push and pull at the world in interesting ways. So this is a dual boss, right? Even though it's made up of a jumping enemy and an enemy we haven't seen yet, the jumping enemy is a little stronger than most of the ones that we fought so far. However, I deliberately saved one of my magic bursts for this moment. So you may notice that there's been this icon in the top left corner that's been saying, hey, press the X button and you're gonna see some serious stuff. So the way that this works is that sometimes enemies will drop a mana core, and when they drop a mana core, you can use the X button. Oh, did I get knocked out of bounds? Hold on, I can fix this. You may be wondering, how are you going to fix this? This is purely impossible. There. Move myself back in bounds and do that. Zoom. So long story short, you have a pulse, you have a burst mechanic that basically lets you, oh, this enemy's immune to pushing. Oh no, whatever will I do? You have a force burst mechanic that you can occasionally use to actually, like, really ruin an enemy's day in particular. So, much like Isma did, we now also have the ability to kind of shoot these projectiles around. So that can be a good way of kind of like making sure that this boss doesn't just sort of knock you around all the way. But you can't like directly hit it with pulse shots because it's too strong. He also has that red aura around him is mostly for anti-magic, so you may notice that as I use my shots and charge them, it makes that circle under my health bar a little bit smaller. It's eating up magic to shoot those, and it gradually regenerates over time. But if you stand on that red aura, then what basically happens is it gets drained. And so a lot of this boss battle, I made it look relatively easy, but the main thing is that oh, and then I think that broke. Whoopsie daisy. But the main thing with this particular boss battle is that it requires you to do a lot of like moving, and sort of just minding your space a lot and trying not to get pinned down by either enemy. Sort of deliberately kind of engineered that way, because Isma is a good way to kind of get used to the system and to move around, used to moving around, because you kind of have to. And then with these two enemies, there are a couple bugs, so I was trying to avoid breaking it. But with these two enemies, then it really begins to test, like, okay, have you begun to sort of get a feeling for how to use reflection? Have you begun to get a feeling figuring out how to really stick and move and get used to that? That's what a lot of this boss fight is sort of meant to test. I broke something, but that's about where I'm ready to show for now anyway. I do have level 3 pretty much done, but it's all super white boxed out, and I have to replace a couple of the enemies because when I was updating some stuff earlier, some of the stuff in level 3 broke. So I only have those 2 levels to show off for right now. But that's, for now, where Mage Princess Alia is. Ideally, in a couple weeks, once I have some more animations and some other stuff to show off, I'd like to show that off. Potentially even kind of point us over to level 3. so we can kind of see sort of what's going on in there. I've shown it off in previous streams in its white box version, but especially as we get more animations and more even still sprites, I want to be able to kind of show more of those. But as those come in and as we sort of hit milestones, I'll be coming back to Alia for a little bit before we do Star Ocean. So, without further ado, if you have any questions about Mage Princess Alia, even while I'm playing like Star Ocean, feel free to ask. I'm totally down to kind of answer whatever. Part of the stream is mostly just to like answer those kinds of questions. So, if you just want to vibe, it's also cool. I have no objections either way. Just that we have swapped over creative. Update that. Okay, so over to what may or may not be the highlight of the stream for most people. Star Ocean till the end of time. So the reason, which I also sometimes just call Star Ocean 3 because that's a whole lot. In particular, the reason why I picked this game as part of sort of my first foray into streaming is that one of the things that I thought of, the game looks really cool. Alia, thanks. It's been a very, very slow bake. I have two very wonderful artists that have been doing a lot of the work. Let me link them actually. Shout them out. So my so as I mentioned earlier, for Mage Princess Alia, I have two artists that are doing a lot of the work. One of them is the concept artist. Her name is Reshma Zachariah. You can find her over at twitter.com/reshmasart. I'm gonna link the link shortly. And my sprite artist, and the sprite artist doing a lot of like the character translation for the concept art, is Caleb Valdez. So I've just linked their Twitters in the chat. Feel free to give them a follow if you're not already. They're both super chill. They've both been doing really great work. Deeply appreciate them from the very bottom of my heart. They work real hard on this game, and I deeply appreciate that. So yeah, give them a follow. Check out their stuff. Buy any of their stuff. You know, love and support. But yeah, thank you, Jen. I really appreciate that. So, oh right, I also forgot. I forgot to mention this, but now that we are an affiliated stream, or with Twitch and all that, you should now have some gauge points to redeem in chat. Wonderful commands include things like getting me to do kicks, to hydrate, doing an AMA, getting your stuff highlighted, unlocking an emote. If you like spending channel points on stuff, got an opportunity. Kind of feel free to spend those kind of as you see fit. Star Ocean. Talk a little bit about Star Ocean. What's up with that and why I chose this game. So, as I was kind of alluding to earlier, one of the main purposes of this stream, kind of as it stands, is to... Oh right, and Nightbot also reminded me. We are currently still raising money for the Bail Project, which is a nonprofit organization that maintains a national bail fund for low-income individuals who are presumed innocent and eligible for release on bail. You don't have to have a Twitch account to donate. Just follow the link in Nightbot's message and you can go there. Phenomenal magic powers, yeah. The push-ups and sit-ups should not be 200. People are going to get cruel with those real quick. Normally, I am secretly relying on the fact that my viewership is generally very tight and compact, and so yeah, I may increase it at some point, but I generally rely on the fact that my viewership is tight and compact, and most people will know not to abuse that and destroy me. I can make adjustments to that later. For now, we're going to honor system it, and I will probably make it much more expensive later. I don't know how Twitch points work. I'm going to be real with you. So it's going to be an adventure, and we're going to be okay. Everything will be okay. But the push-ups and sit-ups, I don't know. I might bump those like 2,000 or something. I don't know. So, but for clarity's sake, last time on Star Ocean 3, we went into a lava-y place because we're gonna get a dragon, a really big one, to carry a magic cannon so that we can blow a spaceship out of the sky. Let's just say this, my first time watching and you can redeem too. Fair point. Let me see if I can update those without this thing throwing a fit. I think I can do it, as long as I don't go to my own channel. I try not to have a lot of stuff open while I'm streaming, because what happens is sometimes I can't change my settings now. Alright, we're just gonna have to live on the edge. So if I try, the stream is gonna hiccup. So I'm going to trust that none of you are going to try to destroy me physically before I get a chance to update those. So please and thanks. So TLDR with this game and what's going on right now. So in order to reach this dragon, we have to destroy these rocks. To destroy these rocks, we need something called a Ring of Disintegration. To get a Ring of Disintegration, we need to leave the place that we are currently in, go back to one of the first towns that we came to on this planet. Yes, I did say this planet. And do some stuff. So that's what we're gonna do. So one of the other things that happened, sorry, I went silent for a minute because I was concentrating, but so one of the other things that happened recently in this game is that we recently acquired a wonderful, wonderful thing called orichalcum. Let me just turn down the volume a little bit. I was gonna work on getting a virtual mixer for this stream, but some shenanigans happened, and I didn't get a chance to actually test it. So basically, pardon me, what also happened, don't worry, I will only remind you to hydrate, lol. Thank you, Jen, I appreciate that. Because you know me, you know my body type, I'm like a noodle. If you put too much exercise on me, I'm gonna kind of like flop over and break. But right, so with this game, right, orichalcum, breaking the game over my knee, etc. So, by virtue of the fact that I am a very stubborn and determined person, I got a hold of this particular material called orichalcum, and because I got this orichalcum, I do probably way more damage than I should at this stage of the game. I did not go for the full busted strategy, which is to I didn't go for the real busted strategy, which is to basically spend most of your money on like getting attack plus 1500 on one of the weapons. I decided not to go broke and do that. Real-time combat RPGs always make my brain go numb. I like them, but they confuse me. Yeah, Star Ocean 3 is interesting because, and I know I move in a very kind of quick way, but with Star Ocean 3, it's funny because it's like equal parts acting and waiting. Like, there are times where you absolutely need to, like, react quickly. But then there are times where it's just like, okay, I just to kind of chill out a second. And kind of, rather than reacting, like, just fast, it's like, you have to kind of take your time for a minute and adjust. Same, but that's because I've only played, like, 2 of them. Yeah. Each one has a different flavor. So, like, with Star Ocean till the end of time specifically, this is the way that it works. You have weak attacks, strong attacks, magic, and guarding, as well as battle skills, which are technically just like super weak and super strong attacks respectively. But the main point here is that weak attacks are faster than strong attacks because they can interrupt them. Strong attacks will break through guards, and guards will defend against weak attacks. The best way to guard in this game is literally by standing still. And once you have enough of your like action energy built up, basically, that little green bar at the bottom, if that's 100% full, and somebody tries to hit you with a weak attack, then you generate what's called an anti-attack aura that can either do damage or stun or even heal you. It basically is used to defend yourself against whatever attack is coming your way. So there are times where it's like, okay, just sit still and defend against something, and for the most part, you're good. There are certain exceptions to that where it's like, no, the real answer to this is just you need to use a stun bomb on this enemy before they do this attack or you're dead. But that's like usually late game stuff, or bonus dungeon stuff, which I don't intend to do on this run. This is right now just kind of a run through, a very casual run through of the main game. The reason why I emphasize that is because I've kind of already missed out on one of the most important side quests in this game, and I didn't realize it until I went to go look at a guide, because I was like, wait, did I miss this thing? And I did miss it. So functionally speaking, yeah, by virtue of that, this is staying a super casual run. Because in order to do some of the best endgame stuff, I could probably still do it as I am, but without some of the gear that you get from that shop that I missed out on the side quest to unlock, I don't really like my chances. If I were to run this game again on like a higher difficulty level, maybe just for the funsies, to try to collect more battle trophies, I might consider it, but we're keeping this one relatively casual. And I'm doing my best to keep it spoiler free. I promise you I know where I'm going. Like, sort of. I'm just trying to remember where it actually is. Get this in. I think technically I probably have enough money that if I really wanted to, I could go make more orichalcum and maybe make one person's weapon really busted, but I sort of don't want to. The materials for doing what's called synthesis are very difficult to come by, and so I have to kind of ration them a little bit. But, right, so something I wanted to talk about as I try to figure out where I'm going. So the main reason why I picked this game in particular is that when I was, a teenager, I played it a lot. I kind of like, it is one of the games that for all the things I complain about, and those of you that have been here for like the Shrine of Kadan know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me emphasize that. Shrine of Kadan is one of the worst dungeons I have ever had the pleasure of going through. Hate it. Hate the Shrine of Kadan. So much. So much. My god. But aside from that, in a very general sense, this game is one of the ones that I played a lot as a teenager. And between this game and it would have been Tales of Symphonia. That was sort of where I began to be like, yo, I really like action RPGs. Cubes. Oh my god, all the cubes. I think some of the stream VODs for Shrine of Kadan might be up. So if you go to that, cubes just out of draw distance. You don't understand. When I say that I hate the Shrine of Kadan, I mean that with every fiber of my being. So the aeroglyph aqueducts are also kind of freaking terrible. So if anybody's wondering why right now I'm walking, it's because these segments that are actually full of ice, if I run on, is it like the Great Bay Temple in Majora's Mask kind of deal, or ambush spawns in Fire Emblem Binding Blade? Okay. So the Shrine of Kadan, I'm gonna put on emphasis again so you understand. The Shrine of Kadan, and I think this is like only the, no, that's spoilers, let me not say it like that. The Shrine of Kadan, when you go through it in the game, it's being invaded by aliens. And I know that sounds weird, but that's basically the way it works. The Shrine of Kadan is being invaded by aliens the first time you visit it, which means that there are all these defenses that are there. Highlights include crystal centaur knights that literally run at you at the speed of sound and are very difficult to stagger, that will just beat the crap out of you. If you don't, this is where the patience thing comes in. If you're not patient, they'll just ambush you and beat the crap out of you. Enemies that are in general just very strong for that area. There's a section where there are these moving blocks that the moment you touch them, they send you back to the start of the room. They're, like Stubby Basis said, usually almost directly out of draw distance. There's a lot. Just watch the VODs. If it's not up yet, they will be soon. But if you watch the VODs, you will see exactly why I hate that place so much. Words cannot describe how much I despise the Shrine of Kadan. Hate it. Hate it. But yeah, it's very painful. But for all of that, I do sincerely like a lot of things about Star Ocean. The battle system has, it is very painful and ripperoni indeed. If the VODs aren't already up, I keep saying I'm going to, and then life keeps happening. I can't put up VODs right away of when I do current streams, but some of the older ones like Shrine of Kadan and stuff, those are off of my new affiliate embargo, so I can actually go and upload those. I just have to like do that because I forget things. But yeah, too many enemies, annoying exploration gimmicks, also random falling debris in exactly 2 places. All this stuff, basically. All the things that Stubby just said. That's why I hate the Shrine of Kadan. It's, and I try not to swear, but it's fucking terrible. It is fucking terrible. And then insult to injury is that after you get out of there, that is a lot of money for chainmail, and I want to buy it, but that's a lot of money. I don't want to spend all that money. So after all of that, once you beat the dungeon, there are no more enemies in it, right? There are no more enemies in it, but after all that, you still have to actually physically walk your way all the way back out through like the 4 or 5 maps that make it up. You have to walk your own way out. They don't just say, okay, here, hey, let's go back to town. No, they make you walk all the way back out. I reiterate, fucking hate the Shrine of Kadan. I'm just picking up some supplies because your boy got real beat up. They don't really have all that much here, but I'll take whatever I can get. But yeah, no, it was not a good time. The Shrine of Kadan was not a good time. But for all of that, I keep getting sidetracked off the point, sorry. For all of that, the reason why I like this game so much, the battle system it has its quirks, but it is relatively robust I think as an adult, I have a better appreciation for the fact that you can't always rush in with guns blazing. Sometimes you just need to like kind of chill out a minute and just like let people trigger your anti-attack auras and then like slap them in the face and laugh and go, why did you think that this was going to go any other way but this? You know, that kind of thing. Every now and again, you got to do that. One of those kinds of things, right? Where you just go, listen, I am the authority here. And I didn't really appreciate that as a kid, but as an adult, I do. One of the other things that has also come up that you're probably going to see a lot of once we get back into the mountain, once we get back into the next dungeon proper, is that this game also does a very good job of kind of holding both, more or less, holding both the player and the enemies to the same standard. By that, what I mean specifically is, hold on. So that's a perfect example of like why sometimes you just wait. Yeah, like that's an example of what I mean by sometimes the thing that you do is you just wait, and it's fine. Because you notice I stunned both of those enemies and basically just kind of slapped them up, and then it's like, what are you gonna do? Oh, that was unfortunate. Yeah, every now and again, you just gotta wait. And then it's like, okay, I just guarded all those attacks. What are you gonna do, nerd? The answer is they don't do anything, because you guarded all the attacks. And then you slap them in the face, and it's like, alright, you're dead. So, what now? So yeah, that kind of like patience, and every now and again kind of just being chill, is something that I appreciate now as an adult. Certain other things, like the inventing system, still kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. I have to use a calculator. If you had one, who or what from a game or anime would be your sleep paralysis demon? Oh, is that an AMA redemption? I have no way of telling, because, yeah, it is an AMA redemption. My sleep paralysis demon. I may need a little clarification on what that means. I think I kind of get as in, what is the one that would give you the most nightmares? Hard. Maybe just because right now he's on my mind, even though we managed to clear him relatively easily. There's a mini boss that we fought last week, right at the door past this one, and his name is Robin Wind. Robin Wind is a nasty, mean little bastard, and I never want to see his face again. I hate Robin Wind. He has an attack that, especially for certain characters, is guaranteed instant death. Like, he looks like a cute little kid, but Robin Wind he'll mess you up. I don't want that child near me. No, not at all. Yeah, I don't like Robin Wind. Okay, so you may be wondering, Sean, how did you kill that fire enemy in like one hit? So, in this game, one of the things that I was going to allude to with the battle system is that you have this thing where you can... Alright, I gotta figure out where the Bunny's Workshop is again. In this game, you have both hit points and not magic points, but mental points. In this case, they literally kind of represent the physical and both the physical and mental fortitude of your character. And so the idea is that if you run out of HP, you die. But also if you run out of MP, like literally your brain gets tired, you also die. and that applies to both. The player characters as well as the enemies. Oh, hang on, let me read chat. For me, it would be redeads. Yeah, redeads actually, yeah. To be honest with you, yeah, redeads are... yeah. Actually, yeah, I take mine back. It would be redeads. Redeads. And in my case, I will say the Wind Waker ones, not because of how they look, but because of how they sound. That sound, I just... I don't like that. I'm going to leave it at that. That sound is no bueno. So it's not even how they look, it's just the sound. Spooky. But yeah, so what I was saying about hit points and mental points in this game, if you run out of either, you die, right? So what that means is that you can cheese certain boss fights by just going for MP kills. You know, that's kind of how you cheese out certain boss fights. Or in this case, certain enemies. They're just certain enemies that if you do enough MP damage to them, that's it. So this is something that really requires more time and money, but since both are in short supply, I could only make a ring that disintegrates certain things. Time and money are far more important than talent, so it can be helped. So the ring of disintegration, blah 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 blah. Okay, right. So I kind of skipped over it, but the main idea is that with the ring of disintegration, basically what happens so long story short, with the ring of disintegration, the whole idea behind it is that theoretically, so in previous areas, like when I went back to the Airglyph aqueducts, I was able to disintegrate certain objects, right? Now in this particular case, what I've actually enabled myself to do now is that I can, in theory, disintegrate whatever disintegratable objects I want without any limits, which is good for going back now to complete certain maps with 100% completion. As for why we want to clear certain maps with 100% completion, you get rewards for that. So the main catch, though, is that so the main reason why... Okay, hold on. Good enough. Yeah, Fate, because you have an extra 500 attack that you probably really shouldn't right now. Okay, I'll take double full. So, I sort of forgot my train of thought, I'm sorry. So basically, you may have noticed a yellow gauge on the right side of the battle screen. That is called the bonus battle gauge. When it is filled up by a specific kind of attack, there are good things that happen. Right now, what I have is every battle I win, I get twice as much money as normal. This is a very good thing. Yeah, disintegration and map completion, thank you. But I also want to point out that Cliff, I didn't even hit those enemies like 2 times, and Cliff did 1 aerial assault and fucking murked all of them. This is what happens when that orichalcum I was talking about earlier, very vaguely, that I said I forged and spent some money on. This is what that does, and this is without me cheesing with that. I'm only cheesing a little bit. It gets better than that if I wanted to spend more money, but I don't. Anyway, right, so disintegration and map completion. The reason why I care so much about map completion is because... wrong display. I care so much about map completion because when you complete maps, you get these accessories that increase your battle speed, which is whatever, but you also can sell them for money, which is very much in my wheelhouse. Again, Cliff nearly did 4 digits of MP damage. That is absurd. Aerial Assault is also just a really good move, and I put it in a slot where it does more damage, but that is absurd. Book of Prophecies 2, I forget what that actually does. But, right, so the reason why I want more money is because money helps me fund inventions. And inventions will help keep me ahead of the curve on most of the stuff that this game has to offer. Oh. Oh no. Lava floors. Nobody likes those. So, the reason why I like money, and I am obsessed with money in this game, is because I use money to invent stuff. Inventing stuff lets me keep breaking the game over my knee. And basically, inventing stuff, if you decide to do any of the bonus content, abusing the item creation system is basically the only way that you're going to make any meaningful progress. If you don't, to quote the illustrious Kazuhira Miller, you're here just to suffer. So yeah, do yourself a favor. If you play this game, especially on the harder difficulties, just make sure that you, hold on a second. I keep forgetting to do this. Just do yourself a favor and make sure that you, just do yourself a favor and make sure that you're abusing the item creation system, because otherwise you are not going to get a fair shake. Not even a little bit. Star Ocean, especially on higher difficulty levels, does not care about you or anything you have to say or anything you think. It will mess you up. So yeah, if you're wondering why so many of these enemies are dying so quickly, it is either a weakness to ice attacks, the fact that they have basically no mental points, or both. So when I turn on Ice Blade, this allows me to do ice damage, but also it makes it so that every hit I do does ice-based damage. So in case anybody is wondering why I'm basically doing my level best to never actually be in front of the enemies most of the time, it's because that opens me up to potentially getting guard broken, or getting my gauge broken. And even though I did in fact make a special command, don't use it yet, because I don't know how to make it display yet without increasing the count. Yeah, like Cliff right now is doing the most. Oh yeah, the elemental damage also adds MP damage, yes. Okay, so as you can see, we now have this. I'm just going to make a save state real quick, because I'm working mostly off of my memory, and I really don't want to be taken by surprise with whatever comes next.
Now that's just too big.
Oh, hey Vallejo. Hello, friend. You came just in time for who I think is probably the last boss of Disc 1. This is the dragon we came here to find. Okay, it's a very good thing I made that save thing. Oh, hey, Akame. Maria's line.
I can see why they call him the Marquis. Impressive.
We're doing good, Vallejo. It's just hot. Which reminds me. Give it some thought, but I think my answer to the sleep process demon would be frickin' Ikius from Earthbound. Yeah. Ikius is a pretty fair answer, to be honest with you. Yeah. He's a spook. But yeah, Vallejo, we're keeping on. I probably have to go fill up my glass so I don't dehydrate. But things are going good. I'm just happy about all the people that finally got their partner invitations for Twitch. You redeemed it, right? Well, I'll go get more. I don't mind. Alright, hang on a second. I gotta go fill it up from the tap. Be right back. And so, alright, let me go make a post on Twitter real quick, because we're about to get, like, Vallejo came literally just in time for what I believe is the last boss battle of Disc 1, if I remember correctly. So, he came just in time. This is either going to be amazing, or this is going to hurt so much. But I have no idea. I made a save state explicitly because, not gonna lie, I want to get through this with double full. I need the money. Vallejo, thank you so much for the sub. Deeply appreciated. Thank you. Bottom of my heart. Welcome in at tier 1. Please enjoy your new emote, which, if I remember correctly, is probably, it's hype, right? Sometimes I forget. Support black creator, yo. But for real though, dog. Yes, do. Deeply appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Enjoy your new emote. It should be, if I remember correctly, probably this one. Yep. Enjoy the hype emote. Yep. At some point, I will probably figure out. Yeah, enjoy. I will probably at some point sit down and actually make a proper hype emote for my Nightbot. Forgot. But yeah, enjoy the SJH2 hype. Alright, so let me. Yeah, let me drop this tweet right quick so that people know we're about to hit up this boss fight, and then we're gonna get going. Let's see. Dragon. Alrighty. So, let me hide this window before it winds up causing hyper lag.
I really hope he'll go along with our proposal.
So, said proposal is not a marriage proposal. No shade to like Scalekin or anything. It's not a marriage proposal, unfortunately. By which we mean, as I said earlier, we're gonna say to this dragon, yo, can we strap a magic cannon to your back so we can fly you up and go shoot the spaceship down with it? Or try to.
It won't be that easy, fool.
Shut up, Albo. Nobody asked you.
What did you call me?
Go put on MCR and sit in the corner and sulk for a little bit.
It moved.
Who dares disturb my sleep? Whoa, the dragon talks?
Yes.
Another ill-mannered human, I see.
Well, technically, Cliff is a Clausian, so not human, but details.
Believe you are the masters of all creation? Why are you so surprised that other creatures can speak?
Technically speaking, Cliff shouldn't be surprised that other creatures can speak, because this is a universe where talking dolphins are a thing. Talking bipedal dolphins are a thing that exists in this universe. You think I'm making that up, but I am not.
You act as though you know everything. Ages pass, yet you humans never learn.
I'm Nell Zelfer, agent of Aquaria. We've come to request the Marquis's aid, Your Excellency.
A maiden of Aquaria. Speak your purpose.
Yes, Your Excellency. A great threat is menacing these lands. We need Your Excellency's help to stop it.
I sense the restlessness outside. What would you have me do?
Well. Oh, wait a minute. Dolphins will one day roam the lands and murder. Sorry about that. Sometimes Nightbot is a little bit of a jerk, and I don't quite know what Nightbot gets mad about. It might have been, maybe. 23 messages were deleted by a moderator. Did it actually go back through and get rid of all of... I hope not. That is a little bit... Nightbot, behave yourself, please. Might have been that word. I will go double check that. Sorry. Nightbot might have been a little bit too happy there. I don't know why. I may have to turn off the spam thing. I'm sorry about that, Lane. Oops. Talking dolphins surprised that they'd be flying over a jungle. I almost know where you're going with that, Stubby, but not quite. I think I missed the joke a little.
We'd like you to bear the runological weapon we developed so that we can deal with this threat.
Yeah, when a purge happens and it deletes all the previous... Alright, so basically, what Vallejo was saying is that I have to put Nightbot in headlock and tell it to stop being so rude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep tweaking that. All good? Be cool? Okay, excellent.
Imbeciles. You would have me bear on my own back something made by human hands. Do not insult me, humans. I am great and ancient, and you are nothing. How could you think I would acquiesce to such a foolish request?
You did ask nicely. I'm just saying.
Even so, we cannot leave until you agree.
I could not care less.
No, forget it. Turkeys like this need to be smacked around a bit before they'll listen.
Cliff? What?
Now that's a first. We're both of the same opinion.
Albo, what?
Agree that humans are nothing special. But I wonder if you are as great as you say you are. Perhaps you need a lesson in humility.
Your Excellency, is there no way you'll agree to cooperate?
You can tell. Yeah, turkey. Hey, Sin, what's up? Seven Deadly Sins, thank you so much for the follow. Deeply appreciated from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, turkeys, you have literally arrived just in time for us to fight a turkey with scales. And oh, he knew that I liked Kamen Rider, but Seven didn't know that I set up Kamen Rider alerts and stuff. The most extra follow notification. I freaking love it. Listen, I love Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider. And I admit I'm mostly Heisei trash because I'm late, but I'm Heisei trash mostly. But Kamen Rider is kind of my jam. Sin. But yeah, hey Sin, hopefully everything is going well today on this lovely Friday. Hopefully you're not burning up nearly as much as I am, but you know. So it goes. You need Kamen Rider alerts. To be fair, mine is the Mario Kart lick from Dolphin Shoals with Lucina and a bunny cosplay dancing, so also pretty extra.
None.
We'll have to force you to listen.
Alright, here we go. What I think is the last boss fight of this one.
Convince me of your worth, and I shall listen to all you have to say.
For the record, I don't remember this fight at all, so either this is going to be amazing or I'm going to get my shit pushed in.
We'll hold you to your word, Your Excellency.
It is a promise I shall not have to keep.
So for Crocell's sake, oops, sorry, spoilers. But for this nerd's sake, this is the reason why I went out of my way to get Orichalcum. Okay, notice that literally... Oh my god. So, I tripped his anti-attack aura. It hit me 3 times. I am relatively fresh. If I'd had a little less extra HP, I would have died. Like, when I say that Crocell is no joke, I'm not joking. Whoop. He tried to stomp. Watch the stomps. Orichalcum. Look at how much full I just got. Look at how much full I just got. Yeah, my alerts are fighting game announcer shit. Followers, here comes a daredevil. Resellers keep on rocking. You know the whole 9. Wait, what? Right. So, and part of this is that I actually forgot how silly Orichalcum makes this fight. This was the boss. So let me explain. And Stubby can verify this. This Orichalcum that I keep talking about, it's this material that you can synthesize onto weapons in this game. It is a pain and a half to make, but right now, of the 3 party members I have, there are 2 of them that have Orichalcum on. That Orichalcum is giving a whopping 500 extra points of attack damage. So for contrast, before I put the Orichalcum onto any of the weapons, the highest attack power that I had in the party was 450. With Orichalcum on, for both Fate and Cliff, they are right now in the 800s for attack damage. You do not understand how amazingly busted I am right now. And like I said, this is without me doing the super cheese strat, which would have been to either use multiple pieces of Orichalcum or try to refine one repeatedly. If I wanted to, I could have tried to get Fate's attack boost way higher, and then it would have broken even more. But I didn't want to break the game that badly. Not bad for mere humans, and an even better challenge than the man that's to do Tempest. This shall be the first time in ages I have had to really earn my name. Bro, Cliff dropped on your head and busted your skull open. You got rocked, my dude. You need to chill. Not triple XP, but whatever. I'll take it. Okay. He is also slightly stronger this time. You notice how the gauge rate has gone up? Again, Cliff just hit him for 701 magical damage. Like, this is not a joke. Again, like... Okay, rip now. Yeah, you can have up to 8 of them. So 500 times 8. If I really wanted to do that, and if I had the resources, and I could have done that, I could have done it. And then this game literally would be a joke. At least until the bonus bosses, because they don't play fair. And Akime can confirm that for you. The bonus bosses in this game are all bullshit. Alright, let me make sure Cliff doesn't die. Alright, hold on. Oh no, hold on. Oh. Fudge. Alright. It's time. I need an exclamation gauge break in the chat. Oh, hold on. Yeah. So, remember how I said that in this game you can die when you run out of MP? I wasn't kidding. Cliff is fucking in the dirt right now. My boy is just like, he's out. Wake up, nerd. So, yeah. So we got a gauge break. Alright. Alright, hang on. Stunned him out of it. Yeah, F in the chat for Cliff. If he was a nerd, he'd have more MP though. He would. It also doesn't help that I almost want to retry the boss battle just so I can get fucking 70,000 full. I want to, but it means I'd have to load a save state. And I'd wind up losing the defeat Crocell within 1 minute trophy. So I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold that.
I can feel my senses sharpening.
One-man wrecking crew.
I'm gonna hold that. I'm not happy about it, but I'm gonna hold that. Yeah. Yes, I broke the gauge.
Live 700 years, only to suffer at the hands of mere humans.
Blood, you slapped Cliff in the face with your wing beats and knocked him the fuck out. You didn't suffer that much. Also because I like kicked the shit out of you in like a minute the first time, but you know.
You'll keep your word, right?
Though it is humiliating to serve your kind, breaking one's word is a despicable act. I have no choice.
Damn right you don't.
All right then.
You may ride on my back, small but powerful humans. I shall bear you wherever you desire.
Crocell bragging about his 700 years, Bailey an ancient dragon, right? You knock out Cliff and you finna catch these hands. Ain't it though? I'm telling you. Like, if, like, Cliff will run up on a motherfucker. You better believe Cliff will run up on a mother. He doesn't give a damn. He'll do it. And if Cliff doesn't do it,
What should we call you?
Call me Crocell, little one.
Well then, Crocell, would you start by heading towards Castle Aquaria to the east?
As you wish.
yeah, like, real talk though. Okay, so I am going to also admit that part of it, though, Akime has co-signed that on higher difficulties, it is technically easier to game the AI. On higher difficulties, like I said, you really have to be cheesing the invention system to stand a chance. Because otherwise, like, Procell, if I was playing on Universe or 4D mode, with what I have now, he'd have clapped me. Like, not even like just like a little bit of like a full on, and that would have been it. That's right. Besides, the strong must be magnanimous. Yo, Maria is a savage. This young lady speaks the truth. Is Crocell a functional equivalent of an airship? That would involve saying spoilers. So the king is like, I can't believe you managed to capture Crocell. Crocell is like, listen, motherfucker. No one captured me. I just agreed to help you a little bit. Do not misread the situation, foolish king. Yo. It matters not. So, Romeria, who shall ride the Marquis? A good question indeed. I was hoping you would lend us the services of someone from the Dragon Brigade. Yeah, so I can't answer that question, Stubby, because it's spoilers. You'll see. That is unacceptable. Only those who personally requested my help may ride me. King gonna get dragon something? Yeah, if he doesn't watch his mouth. Then we must let them decide who will ride. Seems we have no choice. Damn right you don't. Anyway, Dragon Brigade is short on men. Spoilers. So that alien ship I was talking about that we're gonna go blow out of the sky, that alien ship basically blasted the entire battlefield and is the reason why the Dragon Brigade is short on men. They're already too taxed trying to form a unit bearing runological weapons. I'm surprised Crocell doesn't have a breath attack like other dragons. I guess so, but also with Doom Wing, the Doom thing, that winky shit, maybe he doesn't really need it. Yes, Your Majesty. Ooh. So, what that entry mark means is that we now have new inventors on the market.
How's new product development? Is there a rival that concerns you?
Shell, Gusto, Vanilla. Hold on 1 minute. Man, maybe he is holding back. Vanilla is owled? I know he's a rabbit, but also... What? Okay, right. I mean, Michelle is also 12, but...
Preparedness now saves grief.
So, Flare Bastards, Miracle Power, Thin Armor, Angle of Intellect, Malodorous Bottle.
A new challenger has stepped up. The invention list has been updated.
Yeah, they may not. Ooh. Well. At some point I do actually have to spend some time investing in writing as a synthesis thing, but that takes some work. We're working as fast as we can, but it's going to take a little longer to mount the... Oh yeah, it may... Okay, it may reach... What the heck is going on? Nightbot, what is wrong with you? Yeah, I don't know. What... Hold up. This is some... Yeah, Nightbot has no chill. Hang on a second. Yeah, no, this bot... Nightbot doesn't have any broad upsy. Let me go take a look at the settings for a second. Because... I don't know why that keeps happening. So, spam, right? Spam protection. Blacklist words or phrases. Options. Oh yeah, murder was definitely one of them. Let's see. Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, murder was definitely one of them. But I don't know what triggered the other thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about the second one. I'm gonna have to look at that because Nightbot is being kind of silly right now. Nightbot, please. Working as fast as we can, but it's going to take us a little longer to mount the Thunder Arrow and load Crozel. Forgive us, we've never done anything like this before. That's fine. I have no idea how to trigger the next event flag, so I'm going to be running around not knowing what the hell I'm doing for a little bit. It is all up to you now. May the grace of Apis be with you. Those mighty air dragons are powerful, so is Aquarius Thunder Arrow. Even so, that celestial ship, the spaceship, is a force to be reckoned with. There we hope to achieve victory with such and such weapon. We can do nothing but trust in it now. Indeed. Yeah, I seriously don't remember the event flag for this next sequence of events. I think I have to go to my room in the castle and rest. Maybe, and I might do it. Elena Fromm's room. The adjustment of the Thunder Arrow is complete for the most part. There's really not much left for me to do now. So basically, she's one of the ladies that was working on the actual Thunder Arrow as a thing. Nightbot knows when you're sleeping, it knows when you're awake, it knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Yeah, it does kind of feel like that. Material storehouse. I don't remember where my actual room in the castle is. Is that on the other side? I've been terribly busy since Dion passed away. I've been assigned all his duties. Right, somebody complaining about that. Nightbot is basically Santa if Santa... Yeah. Semi-evil Santa? He's just trying to make sure that nobody does anything really mean in my chat. But, the Diplo's Marietta and I will transmit the coordinate trace and data. The Diplo will be in range to transport us up in as little as 4 minutes and 30 seconds. It'll most likely be in about 5 minutes. You only need that much more time, don't do anything rash. So basically, really what's going on here is that, the basic idea is that what's actually happening, the reason why we're going to all this trouble, that's just regular Santa. Dude gives children coal. He gives naughty children get coal. Naughty children get coal. What's wrong? Feeling restless? Me too. But it won't help to rush things. We can only do what we can right now. I might actually have to look up the next event trigger, because I don't remember what it is. Clear last bar's room, except Claire is over in Arius, so that doesn't really help us at all. This is not as bad as the Icelandic Christmas traditions. Part of me doesn't really want to know. That shit is terrifying. Part of me definitely doesn't want to know. Alright, let me see if I can find this event trigger. Our ocean and yeah, hold on a second. Our ocean. Yeah, I gotta look up a walkthrough real quick because I don't remember how to trigger this event thing. And I don't want us to have to come back to like one cutscene at the end. Kind of weak. Not about that life. Okay, I have to speak with everybody in my party. Okay, I see. So, I talked to Nell, and I talked to Maria. I talked to Mirage. I just need to go talk to Cliff. and Maria and Albel, and I think I'm good. And then after that, I have to go back out onto the balcony. Okay, sweet. So relax, I'll keep you safe. Even a battleship wouldn't have it easy against me. Cliff? Cliff. Cliff. Shut up. You clown. Get voiced by Kakashi and all of a sudden you think you're somebody. Humph. These people keep casting reproachful glances my way. If they have something to say to me, they should just come over and say it. People of this city are nothing but useless garbage. Stay mad, nerd. And then now I just gotta figure out where Maria is. Supposed to be in here. Oh yeah, there she is. Oh, Fate. Saying your final prayers? Well, I can kind of relate. I mean, if the gods could guarantee that our strategy would succeed, even I'd become a believer in an instant. Well, okay then. It also seems like there is one character who I seem to have managed to skip somehow. At least for now, who is intensely annoying, and I don't like him. So we don't have to go find him. All we have to do now is go back up here and go do some daggone cutscenes, I guess. So the Icelandic Christmas tradition includes Grilla and 6 trolls, which pillage your food and ruin your home. And Grilla eats kids. You're welcome. That, I don't like that. I don't like that. I do not like that. I don't like that. Nope. Nuh-uh. Don't want. Do not want. Merry Christmas in July?
Here, ma'am.
Not likely.
All right. Keep in mind that there may be a Vendini ship lurking nearby. Put us into low orbit.
That will increase atmospheric friction. Are you sure?
Our enemy will have the same problem. Stay on your guard.
Roger.
Any bowls and spoons licked by yo. Yeah. That's rude. Alright people, cutscene time. Let's bask in the glory of... Oh, she also has a cat. Which also eats yo.
Captain, 3 Vendini ships are closing in.
Prepare for battle. We'll provide backup down here.
Backup? With what?
There's no time to explain. Just hang in there. We'll cover you from here.
Roger.
I like how Maria's basically like, shut up, we have a plan. So yeah, now you actually have an idea of how big Crocell actually is, relatively.
Crocell, head towards that huge object over there.
Yes, little one.
Still smaller than a battleship.
Okay. Fire when you get within range. Got it. Don't give up. Keep firing. I know. I'm trying.
Come on and blow up already!
Don't worry. It must be working. Just keep it up. What was that? That wasn't the...
No, it wasn't the Diplo. I think they pulled it off.
Yes! We've got a chance now.
What's this?
Captain, we're history unless we do something fast!
Make a run for it. We're coming to help.
Don't worry, it must be working. How the hell do you know, dude? Yeah.
This is bad.
Crocell, hurry!
You're doing bugger all for all you know. Wait, what? That didn't look like the thunder arrow. That looked like something else. Huh. I don't remember this part of the game that well. So,
What was that?
Captain!
Marietta, are you okay?
Yes, thankfully. Did you see that?
better thunder arrow. Maybe.
What was it? Do we have a computer analysis?
Hold on a second. Here it is. What?
What's wrong?
I don't believe it. The computer says that narrow beam of light was packing an energy magnitude of 3.2.
What?
Did she say magnitude 3.2?
That can't be! Even the creation cannons on the latest Federation battleships can only emit an energy magnitude of 2 tops.
The delivery on some of these lines are perfection. Yeah. Most of this voice cast is basically like doubles from Naruto and Stephen J. Bloom. No, he was also in Naruto, right? We said Orochimaru like 5 times and I keep...
So what the hell was it?
Marietta, can you determine the light beam's origin?
No. All I can tell is it's somewhere extremely far away. Even the Diplo sensors couldn't detect the source. Oh! Hold on a second. Captain, our sensors have picked up multiple instances of the same type of energy reaction. They're all heading in the same direction. One of them is exceeding magnitude 4.
Twice as strong as the creation cannon, which is what's used in this kind of warfare, basically.
Magnitude 4? Where are they headed?
Earth!
Game is almost old enough to vote. Give it some slack. Yeah,
Aldean or Vendini weapon, maybe?
yeah, you're good.
Chance. Do you think a Vendini weapon could do what we just saw? Or an Aldean weapon for that matter?
True. It's highly unlikely that either has an energy source exceeding the magnitude of creation energy.
But if it's some new weapon, we're in big trouble. I'm not even sure the Earth's planetary defense shield could block it.
Let's get back to the castle. We're wasting time here.
You're right. Marietta, give me a damage report on the Diplo.
The gravitic warp engine's been damaged. Repairs should take about 6 hours.
Do it in 4. I have a bad feeling about this.
Roger. We'll try our best.
I'm counting on you.
Maria's messed up. She's like, Maria's like, the repairs will take about 6 hours. Maria's like, you better shave 2 hours off that. Bugging.
Your Majesty, it's time for us to leave your world. With the fleet destroyed, I hope things here will return to normal.
As do we.
I am very sorry for causing all this trouble.
On the contrary, we have learned that there are entire civilizations out there beyond our world. And we have learned this is not the time for foolish struggles between our countries.
Right, it's not.
Precisely. In order to avoid bringing the final prophecy of Apris to fruition in its worst form, we must not wage war.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Indeed.
Okay, everyone, we're off. Again, I'm sorry for all the trouble.
I'm glad we got a chance to know each other, even though our time together was brief.
I'm glad too. I'm glad Apris granted me the opportunity to meet you all.
I wish you could stay. Unfortunately, that's not an option. As you have your world, we have ours as well.
I thought you might say something of the kind. I pray for your success in rescuing your father.
Fate's father is who she means. He got captured by the same Vendini that are kind of messing with us right now. Shoddy repairs on warp drives that can cause malfunctions is one of the most common disaster trips in sci-fi. I'm just saying.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's a major death flag being tripped here. I don't like this.
It's me.
The repairs are complete, ma'am.
Already? That was fast.
We did our best.
Thanks. I owe you one. Be ready to receive 4 via transportation in 1 minute.
Roger.
Wait, who's the... oh, right, Mirage. I was like, who's the 4th person? So, for the record, when I first made the orichalcum, I had like maybe 4 or 5 pieces, and I distributed 3 of them. For this reason that you are seeing right now, I gave 1 piece to Fate, 1 piece to Cliff, and 1 piece to Mirage. Might as well be a Mirage. Maybe for now. But I gave 1 piece to Fate of the orichalcum, another to Cliff, and another to Maria, and this is why. Because at the end of Disc 1, all of your party members from this planet don't come with you. And I knew this going into it, which is why I was like, I'm not going to give it to Nell or to Albel, because I'm not going to be able to use them for the next little while.
Back, Captain.
Welcome back, Captain. Oh, Lieber.
Good work, everyone.
I'm so happy you made it back safely. I've been worried sick. I haven't been able to sleep a wink.
No time for chit-chat. Any progress analyzing that energy?
Yeah. It appears that blast of energy came from neither Federation, Aldean, nor Vendini forces.
How do you know that?
Oh man, Lieber, this nerd, yo. Lieber is like a mega nerd. I love him, but...
We don't have much information right now, but according to intercepted communications, all 3 groups are currently under attack by another entity. From where? Don't know yet. There are limits to the communications we can intercept at this distance. Marietta is continuing to analyze the data.
I don't know if they're friend or foe, but they sure did a number on those Vendini. Let's take advantage of the situation and keep gathering that data for analysis.
Leave it to me!
I'm going to the bridge.
Guess that means that any Cliff and Nell ships just sank along with the Vendini ship. Take a minute to appreciate this music, by the way. In case you were under the impression that all Motoi Sakuraba can do is funny fantasy sounding things, Motoi Sakuraba. Some physical problem? Or perhaps something psychological? Alright, so... save this real quick. We got like 6 minutes. I'm gonna see how far we can get into Disc 2 before stream is over. Not super far, probably. But, those cutscenes usually take forever. Marietta is currently analyzing the strange light. Of course, we've been analyzing intercept data too, so we should have some results soon. Ooh, man, I thought I was done for. Yeah, there are people that only know Sakuraba through Souls. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Sakuraba's non-techno music is not bad. Exactly, not a bad thing. But my man's has range.
I'm back, people. We're behind schedule on our objective to secure Dr. Linegaard. Let's proceed as planned to point S317. All hands stand by.
Right! Wait a second. Secure Dr. Linegaard? So you know where my father is?
That's right. He's being held in a cave on a planet located at point S317. It's been cleverly disguised, but it's a secret Vendini base, no doubt.
A secret base? How do you know about it then?
Don't underestimate Quark's information network. We'll be entering gravitic warp at once. Go sit over there.
Oh, okay.
Set a course to point S317 via gravitic warp. Break out of orbit with 1/4 thrust.
Okay, breaking out of orbit with 1/4 thrust.
I don't think he has that much range. His style is very notable since he samples a lot of his own stuff, understandably since there's so many Tales games. Okay, yeah, I admit that my ability to articulate musical concepts is actually kind of terrible, so I may have used the wrong word there. I think very specifically I can say that it's like he has a very specific, within the things that he can do, he has a lot more spread than people kind of give him credit for. Okay, so we're going to switch over to disc 2. We'll go a little bit into disc 2 before stream is over, just so that we don't have to set up some other stuff. I see here. Got this. Top disc. Alright. Yeah, but I think having a very discernible style is almost necessary for a VGM soundtrack composer. Yeah. Oop, I missed the fight because I was doing chores. Oh, Vallejo, you mean the fight with Crocell? Where in the first round I killed him in a minute, and then in the second round he got a gauge break, but I still kicked the crap out of him.
Engage gravitic warp.
Yeah, his music pre-solos isn't really like Souls. He's about them drums and synth. Yeah,
Engaging gravitic warp.
that's why I like all his music.
Our long-range sensors have picked up a ship. Fast approaching. Ship registration?
Oh, nice. Hold on. My naughty list. Oh, it might have been the emote. Because I got my list of block things from someone else. Probably the emote.
It's the Aqua Ellie, a Federation battleship.
Probably the emote. Let me go take a look. Blacklist words and phrases. I could just turn it off for a little bit. Yeah, that was lull, right? It's probably...
A battleship? What is a Federation battleship doing out here?
Could they be after us?
It could be that the block list that I imported for Nightbot had somebody that had a problem with it. I think it's been used by some people who are real terrible to be a kind of way. I might pull it from my list. I think anyway. I may have to ask in like one of the other discords I hang out in with people that do a lot more streaming than I do.
Roger.
Because
Roger.
I was just kind of rolling with a list somebody else set up. So
This is Commodore Whitcomb of the Federation ship Aqua Ellie.
probably by people who are trolling.
It's an honor to meet you all.
Wait a minute. Yeah, shitty trolls. They kind of ruin everything. Wait,
Likewise.
some emotes tend to get used a lot when some people are being toxic.
I would never have expected to meet Commodore Whitcomb, Star Officer of the Federation Fleet, in these parts.
I'm flattered you'd remember my name.
Wait a minute. This is Michael McConaughey. I'm like 95% sure this is Michael McConaughey. Sounds like Seth. You know, I was gonna start some discourse about setting up a community blacklist. I don't think it would be a bad idea.
But first things first.
As in terms of the existence of one, or that one should be set up.
That's Dr. Linegod's son standing behind you, correct?
Yes, it is.
Well, what I'm about to say will no doubt come as a surprise. There's no time for details now, so I'll be brief.
Go on.
A Vendini ship is approaching you. Our analysts believe they will not attack, so we expect the same of you.
About coordinating one myself. I'm glad I have my guys Woolins and emote since it can replace lull. Yeah.
None of us want there to be any hostilities.
What are you talking about? How could you possibly know that the Vendini will not attack?
Because
Captain, our sensors have picked up the Vendini ship.
Oh, it's what's his name? Garen or Lord Jaraxxus. Why can't I remember his name? One sec.
They're sending out a transmission.
Switch signals.
Main screen, turn on.
This is Captain Bewig of the Vendine Empire ship Dasvanu. Surrender immediately and submit to our orders.
Nice to meet you too.
Dr. Lineguard, enemy of the galaxy, and the girl are in our hands. You are in no position to refuse our demands.
This hand and this hand say I am, actually. So.
Dad! Sophia!
Whoops, surprise.
What do you want with my father?
Oh, Jameson Price. Oh,
We have but a single demand.
the storm of my loyalty.
You must exchange Lineguard's son for Dr. Lineguard.
Exchange me for my father?
And the method of exchange? I suppose we don't trust one another enough to transport them between our ships.
Obviously not. We will reach your location in a few minutes. Further orders will be issued at that point. You will stand by until then.
Big, you need to stop drinking. Your voice is beginning to slur.
Marietta, encrypt our signal to the Aqua.
Done.
I heard everything.
So that's the situation.
Dr. Linegod's safety,
Oh, that's Christopher Freeman. Thank you. Sorry. Had a brain fart.
as long as they hold him, we are unable to attack.
It's hot, Steppy.
I suppose you're right.
As in, literally. Toasty. Give me a break here.
Commodore, just how much do the Federation and Vendini really know?
About what?
Don't play dumb with me. You wouldn't be trying to get Dr. Lineguard, let alone Fate, unless you had some sort of information on them.
She's not wrong.
I suspect our intentions are not that different from your own. As for the Vendini, I'm not sure what they want, but I do have my suspicions.
Do you?
I see.
So, what you gonna do? You gonna give him up without a fight?
You gotta be kidding! I still have things I want to ask my father!
Don't worry, Fate. I won't let them have you or your father. I won't stand for that.
Maria,
Reason why she won't stand for it is because Fate's dad is the one that experimented on her to give her the power to alter mass. It's weird.
As long as you can secure Dr. Lineguard, the Aqua Ellie will be able to deal with the Vendini ship.
Fate's father also gave him the power to vaporize things with his mind when he gets really angry. So, you know.
The timing of the hostage exchange will be key. No doubt they will specify a neutral location for the exchange. I'm not sure what we'll do then.
We'll go down there, wherever it is, take the crap out of them. Not complicated.
We'll have to think of something.
We fight them.
Think of something. We'll be flying by the seat of our pants.
Not much else we can do. We've no time and the cards are stacked against us.
Just the sort of situation you like, isn't it, Cliff?
Suppose so, but,
Give it your best shot. I place it in your hands.
well, we aren't doing this for you, you know.
Nevertheless, Dr. Lineguard and the boy must not fall into Vendini hands.
Right.
I imagine it will not be much longer until we arrive. Sit tight until then.
All right.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks, boss. Thanks, boss. Anyway,
We have to help my father, no matter what it takes.
we will have to think of something. Last one or a calc.
I know.
Yeah, basically.
Remember, I have some unfinished business with him. We won't fail to free your father.
I can hardly wait.
I'm glad you're on my side.
You know it.
On. Cutscene finish up. Out of this joint.
I hope Sophia's holding up well. This has to be hard on her.
Captain, we're receiving a transmission from the Dasvanu.
On screen.
Turn on.
The exchange will take place on the planet you are orbiting.
On Elacour?
He just said, yo, we're out of here. We're out. But I guess,
Prepare to transport down. And no heroics.
I think to try to mix things up, I'll try stabbing my enemies until they.
The Dasvanu sent the coordinates 147.5834, 34.8874.
Location?
Right away.
Hey, isn't that...
Oh yeah.
You've been there?
Yep, sure have.
Ba-bum. This is actually good because there's somebody I wanted to recruit from here. So for inventing. So I gotta grab a hold of her now when we go down there.
Transport at the specified time. And I repeat, no heroics.
Understood. We'll hold you to that as well. We'll exchange fate for Dr. Linegut and the Esteed's daughter. That's the deal.
It is the deal.
Yes, that is the deal.
Right?
We can only transport 6 at a time. Their capacity shouldn't be any different.
Most likely.
Well, I guess 6 should be enough.
Remember, they've got my father. Whatever you do, be careful.
You're such a worry wart. Put a little more trust in me.
How does inventing work when you're not on the planet anymore? I'll be limited to probably whoever's in my party.
I trust you. I really do. It's just...
Don't worry. It'll be okay. Believe me. We'll get everyone back safely.
Maria.
Yeah, I mean, which isn't too bad because I can still do a bunch of engineering things.
Mirage, prepare to transport us down. Roger, Captain.
I'll go with you. Hey, Stieg, you're coming too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll be limited to whoever's in my party probably for inventing.
Landcar, you read me?
Sup, Maria?
Ready 3 combat personnel, equipment level A. You pick the team. They'll transport down with us.
Level A? This must be serious.
It is. Our suits are no match for the disruptor rifles the Vendini use, but they're better than nothing.
Got it. I'll have them ready ASAP.
I'm counting on you.
And then probably what will happen is that I'll be limited to whatever lines the current facilities I might have. Zeke seems like his jacket should be red. Stubby, don't be mean.
What is it?
Nothing. I was just thinking, you really are Quark's leader.
Not too sharp, are you? I've been telling you that from the start.
I know. It's just that...
It's just rude for no reason.
Yeah, whatever. There's still some time before we transport down, so you're free until then. There's nothing I need you for right now. I'll make an announcement when it's time to go.
Okay.
Like Maria just like listen. Alright, let me go hit the save point and then we need to get out of this. We need to get out of here. So don't like super disappear on me yet, because we're gonna go raid somebody. And I already know who. because she's playing a game that I was not expecting to like as much as I did, but I do like it. So, thank y'all for coming to stream. I deeply appreciate it. Deeply appreciate you coming by. Thank you again to all the new subs and followers. So, look down my list here and give out my second set of shoutouts. Get it right? Yeah, we go and raid. Vallejo can already guess where we're going. So, yes. Sin, 7 Deadly Sins, that is. Thank you so much for the follow. Vallejo, thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription. I see that you are going to make very good use of your good old SJH2 hype. So, we are going to go drop off our nice and lovely selves over at Pleasantly Twisted, who is doing her first run of Final Fantasy VII Remake. She is having a lot of fun. So we're going to go give her some love. For those of you who can, make sure that you, for those of you that can, please make sure that you drop a good old SJH2 hype. SJH2 hype. That thing turned out weird. Drop one. Let her know where you came from. Razz her up. Thank y'all for coming by. Deeply appreciate it. We'll be live again this Sunday, 5 p.m. to start getting our feet into Disc 2